always just healthy enough right around the time he get paid. And then the second he get paid, he's always injured. In 5 seasons with the Clippers, this man has missed 161 of 390 regular season games. That's 41% of his games missed. He's missed 35% of his playoff games. He's missed 15 of the Clippers' last 19 playoff games due to injury. Sentence in here where it says, the deal was with Kawhi Leonard's company, KL2 Aspire, LLC, and included clauses allowing Leonard to do nothing, yet still collect payment. That's the Kawhi Leonard I know. Doing nothing and getting paid.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Edtv, man. If you press play on this video, hopefully you subscribe, comment, like, share the damn video. Hit the notification bell for whenever I upload. It'll be nice. I wasn't going to report on this because I don't really care too much for Kawhi, but phenomenal player that he is. But I figured, why not? But as Kawhi, when he started off with the San Antonio Spurs, phenomenal player, took a little time to develop, 2-time Finals MVP, 2 times DPOY, and 2-time Steel champion, right? So we get to the point where all of these findings started coming out. When I kept hearing Uncle Dennis, Uncle Dennis, Uncle Dennis, Uncle Dennis, I said, who the hell is Uncle Dennis? His uncle. The first order of business, you never mix family and business. That's your first mistake. Second mistake, Uncle Dennis probably came from nothing. Out there in the LA guy, probably was in the streets somewhere. But how the hell can you manage somebody else's money that has more money than you? Kawhi's a millionaire. How the hell are you going to tell a millionaire how to manage his money when you don't even have money like that yourself? That was the second mistake. So all of the findings, I want access to a private jet. I want part ownership of the team. I want access to a mansion. I need another house. And endorsements, off-court endorsements. Now, Uncle Dennis is the reason why Kawhi is in this in the first place. He was probably telling Kawhi, look, man, I'm going to figure out how to get us as much money as possible with you having to do little as possible. That's probably what his mentality is if he's a street guy. Nephew, I got you. I'm going to get you paid, show up sometimes. And when they don't, I'm going to put the squeeze on the organizations. He asked for this stuff from the Spurs, the Lakers, and the Clippers, to where Kawhi is getting paid under the table to practically do what? Nothing. During the 22-23 season, when they were facing off with the Phoenix Suns, Kawhi had 2 games, started the series games with the Suns. Kawhi dropped back-to-back 30-point games. Paul George is already out. After that, those 2 games, next thing you know, after the game, Kawhi's injured. He can't play anymore. He has some knee inflammation. He won't be able to play. And left little old Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell, Ivica Zubac out there by themselves. My take on it is this. He should have stayed his ass in Toronto. That's where he won his very first championship for that organization. They were probably more than willing to give him whatever he wanted. Whatever he asked for, whatever his heart's desire. But here comes in Uncle Dennis. We want this, we want this, we want this. If Kawhi would have said, Uncle, man, step out. I don't need you no more. Fire him. Get you a real agent. A person that has money. A person that has other athletes on their payroll to say, all right, I'm going to negotiate the best contract for you, Kawhi. And then in Toronto, he had a squad. He had Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol. You had Serge Ibaka. You had Norman Powell. You had the decent squad out there, with you included. but you still didn't want to play ball and get everything that the Toronto Raptors was willing to offer you. No, you wanted to get greedy. Uncle Dennis was doing majority of your negotiations, to the point where people were so flabbergasted when you were doing interviews and you were actually talking and engaging with the media. But now you're in a worse state because you want to get paid not to play. And Jeff Teague has said something along the lines of, the Clippers probably leaked this information, probably because they want to get from up under you. They got a squad that they building out there. They got Bradley Beal. They got James Harden. They traded away Norman Powell. They gave him to the Heat. They still got Derrick Jones Jr., Ivica Zubac. They still got some pieces over there to where they can be successful. But with his hefty contract on the books, they can't really do anything else, and they cannot depend on him. So they said, let's go ahead and possibly put out this information and see if we can run into something to get him off this team. Excuse me. So people are getting on Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer knew. Steve Ballmer was the one that was kind of playing along with the game, possibly. But when you're $100 billion man, you can do what you want. He's going to get fined probably some millions of dollars, something that he can wipe his ass with each and every day. That's nothing to him. His portfolio raises, almost every month? He ain't worried about no hundreds of millions of dollars. That's nothing to him. But when you got a guy that you have paid $350 million for 5 years of play, you start asking questions. How can I get this off my books? Pure stuff that billionaires do. People with money do this stuff on a regular, and they find and they will swindle and do foul-ish to make sure that their mission is accomplished. And I think Steve Ballmer probably has something to do with this, because he probably tired of Kawhi. He know he can't build around Kawhi because Kawhi is not going to be available. He gave Kawhi Paul George because Kawhi wanted Paul George and traded SGA. Within that time span, SGA went over to OKC and turned into a monster. With the Clippers still not winning a championship, building around little old Kawhi. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Clippers put this out there so they don't have to keep paying this guy, so they can get from under Uncle Dennis and Kawhi. Yes, I wholeheartedly believe that this was set up by the organization, because millionaires or billionaires are going to plot up on each other, plot together and say, this guy's not even worth the headache no more. We keep losing. I built a new stadium, a new dome, but people are looking for Kawhi, but Kawhi's not available. But then had the audacity not to finish out the season, and then go play for Team USA, and then lied. No, matter of fact, he didn't lie. He didn't tell Team USA he had a procedure done on his knee, so they sent him home. Raising red flags all over the place. He should have stayed in Toronto, played out his contract, got whatever he could get out of them, and then went to the Clippers or went somewhere else. But no, he wanted to get greedy. He wanted to keep doing what he wanted to do and getting paid to do nothing. You play enough with a white man's money, he'll find a way to do something to you or get you out of there, legally or illegally. Put this out there. Let's get him off the books. Buy him out of his contract, send him packing, and let's get somebody else in here and free up some salary cap space. So more times than not, maybe Steve Ballmer had something to do with this. I wouldn't put it past him, because nobody is greedier than a millionaire or billionaire, and he senses that he has something bad on his portfolio that's costing him a lot of money. He's going to sit back and assess and say, is this really worth the investment anymore? And they'll take their money off the table and they'll find a way to get rid of it. You've seen the movies. You seen all of these things that will show you when you play with a billionaire's money, or you play with a white man's money that has a lot, you're going to go before him. They're not going to punish Steve Ballmer. He got too much money compared to Kawhi's $350 million and minus Uncle Dennis's cut. So Kawhi screwed. Forget they're going to let him play out his contract for the next 2 years. Forget that. Kick him out right now. The Clippers need to get rid of him. The NBA needs to get rid of him. Go find you something else to do, you and your Uncle Dennis. As phenomenal and as great of a player as Kawhi could have been, he brought this on himself. Him and Uncle Dennis. Stephen A. always had said it. He'll play when it's time to renegotiate or re-up on the next contract. He plays. But then right around that time, he's injured and he sits for an extended period of time. Stephen A. has always said this. One of the greatest superstars that don't want to play. The worst NBA, worst superstar that don't want to play. That's Kawhi. He's played 74 games one time in his career, his 10-year career. 68, 55, 55, 36, 9 games are the lowest. 9 is the lowest. The highest is 74. Anywhere between that is 65, 68, 55, 55, 40, and he's done for the season. And that's postseason. Stephen A. read it off to you. So I don't feel sorry for Kawhi. He deserves to be under investigation along with a lot of other players. So don't feel sorry for him. His potential was there. He didn't fulfill it. He pulled this super fly-ish with the Spurs. They had to get rid of him. He pulled that super fly-ish with the Raptors. They had to get rid of him. Now, it's came to a head. Now they got to pop this to get it to go away. And that is Kawhi Leonard. I wasn't going to cover it, but I just wanted to give a little bit of my sentiments on the situation. But if you made it to the end of this video, I digress. But if you made it to the end of this video, hopefully you subscribe, comment, like, share the damn video, and hit the notification bell for whenever I upload it to be nice. See if there's anybody else out there that thinks like us as in me and you. And with that being said, good day.